Hi, today I would like to talk about life insurance. Will your family be taken care of if something were to happen to you today? This is a subject that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but it's such an important subject. Life insurance is what you leave behind when you die. It's what you leave for those that you leave behind to take care of them. Have you ever heard anyone say, I just can't afford it, or I don't plan on dying anytime soon? Well, we will look at several facts and options to answer these questions. I will also tell you the three main types of insurance, and they are term, universal, and whole life. These are the three main life insurance policies. I currently work at an insurance agency as a life health producer. And I've wrote several policies, and they're based on your age, your health, and your what you can afford to pay. As of 2010, USA Today said that 30% of Americans do not have any life insurance at all, and there is another large number that they don't have the adequate coverage. The first step is to decide, how much coverage do I need? Usually, you figure a year's worth of wages and funeral cost, and if you own a home, you would want to add that in so that your home would be paid off, and that would be a big worry off of you. The first type of policy I want to talk about is the term policy. This, you can buy it in anywhere from 5 to 40-year terms, and you will pay the price that they quote you for that amount of years until your term runs out. As long as you keep the policy paid, it will stay in force, and if something were to happen to you, it would pay out. This is the most common and the cheapest policy available, as cited by wisebread.com. But when you can't afford anything else, the term policy is the policy to buy, stated in the magazine Selling Life Insurance. You need some type of life insurance to cover you and your family. The universal life policy is the second cheapest policy. You have cash as you pay it that builds up into this policy, but if you stop paying the premium, if you run into trouble and you have to stop paying the premium, it will take that cash that you have built up and keep paying the premium until that money is exhausted. Once it's paid up, though, you will have coverage until age 90. If you go through Jackson National Life Insurance, which is the one I'm familiar with, their pamphlet states that till it's paid up until age 90. You can change this policy, and if you get, just say, for example, you get $500,000 of coverage, well, the premium's higher. You get into a financial bind, you can have that coverage lowered to like $100,000, and it lowers the premium, so you can raise that amount up and down as you go to meet your needs. So it's a flexible policy, and it's a good policy. The third type of policy is a whole life policy. This is the most expensive policy, but it is the best policy. This is the policy you want to buy when you're young, because the younger you are, the cheaper it is. And just say you get it in 20 years, you have paid that policy off, you have that cash built up, and it keeps making interest. So your money, your cash money, is growing in that policy as long as you let it sit there. As quoted by Insurance News Net Incorporated, permanent insurance will never go out of style. This is something that is so needful, and if you can't afford it, you can, when you get that cash built up, you can borrow against that cash. You can take loans out on that cash. And the best thing about this policy, when it's paid up until it reaches the age, it is, just say you pay it up, 20 years goes by and you don't touch it, it's paid, you hadn't messed with it, you die 20 years later, you still got that policy. It is the best policy out there. So while all these three policies are different, and it's complicated, and a lot of people don't understand it, and insurance is a really tricky subject, there is a book called Insurance for Dummies, which has helped people to understand the terms, the insurance terms that they use. It gives you direction as to make what decision best suits your family. And I totally recommend this book. Very good. I have a friend who is 64, and her husband died last year. He left her nothing. He did not have a life policy, and she had took an early retirement. So now she is working at a convenience store every morning, frying food and cooking food to make up to pay for his funeral expenses. Now, on the flip side, my grandfather, when he passed away 18 years ago, he left my grandmother very well off because he took out a large life policy for her. And this policy has let her live for 18 years in a lot of comfort. So my question to you is, which side do you want to be on? Where you have no coverage or where you can live comfortable?